Oh, we are? Oops. You know, I just rolled the intro. Was it not on? Oh.
First time I had crabs. Yeah, so that was a failed start.
Let me guess. Everybody can see everything, but they can just hear me, not you.
Yes, and then I stopped the stream momentarily to actually turn the microphone on. Yeah.
You actually just ruined Tech Talk.
I made Tech Talk what it is with the amount of amateur that takes place.
It's ruined. Ruined.
I'd like to say I made it better.
You know, I'm not going to argue with you.
Totally made it better. Are you watching the stream
I'm
there?
totally going to argue with you. No, I'm trying to pull it up. I've got so many damn screens I can't remember.
Oh, everyone's like, fail, 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 fail. I laughed my ass off, fail. It is Tech Talk number 112 or some shit like that.
Yeah, dude.
I'm going to go ahead and roll that intro real quick. Take it away. Go.
All right. Welcome to Tech Talk 112, where the title is seriously, Jerry made 4 videos this week. 4, I know, right? Seriously, is it that bad? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Is it over yet? Is this still going? God, could you make a shorter intro?
Oh, this is so bad.
Come on, it's got to be done.
So
oh, you're playing the soundboard already, aren't you?
And it had the fart looping.
Oh my god. Did you even play the intro, or?
Yeah, I did, I think. I'm not sure. I didn't check. I clicked. Oh, yeah, I did. It went. It played.
Oh, no. You did. You did. I was checking.
I just want to give everyone kind of a fair warning that I have mentally checked out. Today was Little Jay's last day of school for summer break, which means I don't have to stay up late working like I've been doing and then getting up at 6 a.m. every day to take her to school. Yeah, I'm like mentally checked out. So I have no idea what is going to come up today.
Yeah, I'm not too far behind you. I've actually been having really bad sleep issues lately. So last night I tried to put on some. Well,
I've known you for 2.5 years, or going on 3 years now, and I don't think you've had a good night's sleep in as long as I've known you.
I probably haven't, but it's been exceptionally bad lately. Like where I'm waking up probably 20, 30 times a night, and it's getting really old. So I put on some. Last night I put on some essential oils next to the bed to drown out my fart smell on my pillow that I was hugging. Okay. And then I turned on some music. God damn it! Are you playing the soundboard again? You are, aren't you?
No, I'm just imagining you with it, like rubbing essential oils and stuff. I know you're putting it in your little diffuser thing.
I wasn't rubbing essential oils, although I did accidentally. Hey, funny story though. Peppermint essential oil is basically like caustic. Like I got that shit on my hands once and touched my woohoo, and I thought I almost burned it off. I seriously was like dancing around. I was like, oh shit, this hurts so bad. You know what I just realized? You have. It looks like somebody's trying to rob your house. I'm watching the stream. I think somebody's trying to steal your computer, playing Doom in the background there.
I don't see anything.
Oh. No, is that Nick back there?
Who?
Behind you.
There's nothing behind me.
Okay, I'm scared now. Are you using a green screen?
No.
Jay, you have somebody behind you playing a video game right now.
There's nobody behind me playing any video games.
I'm scared now. I'm scared. Am I hallucinating, guys?
Yeah, get off the drugs, okay?
Everybody's like, that's racist. That's racist. How's it racist? He's Indian.
Native American or Hindi type?
I don't remember, actually. I didn't ask him. It didn't seem that relevant. As soon as I saw the car he drove, I was like, it doesn't really matter.
The car who drove?
The Nick drove.
Oh.
He drives GTI, right? Or is it it's at least a GTI, right?
Yes, it's a GTI, 1.8T. Okay. It's not a TDI or a Scirocco.
Because I was gonna say, actually, a Scirocco would be pretty badass. I like Scirocco. No, I saw the video that you did where you guys plasti dipped the wheels. That was actually a lot easier than I thought it would be. Like, I think you're probably going to get me in trouble because I'm going to go out and probably plasti dip my roof.
But the thing is, you can undo it, right? I mean, I said in that video I'm not a fan of plasti dip, but it totally has its applications where it applies. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to be fair, somebody took what was designed for something completely different and made it work with automotive, which is kind of neat, I guess. You know?
Yeah, wasn't it originally just designed to like put grips on tools and stuff like that?
Well, they did a really thick, like rubbery compound, and I've used that before. But then I don't know, they made it like aerosol. They made it aerosol type. Well, like the original plasti dip was like a literally a dip. It was like a can.
No, I remember that. You
yeah.
pop the top off the can. You could like dip like wrench handles and stuff in there.
Mm-hmm.
So he had they were plasti dipped before, right? So the old coat on them that you guys were peeling off was old plasti dip. How long did he have that on there? Because it looked like it was holding up pretty good.
He bought the wheels that way, but you saw underneath the wheels that were fucked.
Yeah, no, they were. But I was actually surprised at how durable the plasti dip is, because even like powder coat chips off fairly easy.
Well, the plastic dip will chip too. I mean, he had some chips and stuff on there. It's just remember the camera only picks up so much. Jerry, you look like you were making some very, very suggestive hand motions right a second ago.
Was I?
Yeah, I just happened to look at the stream and it looked like you were doing something with your hands that are a little bit.
There was some white foamy stuff. Oh, here it comes. Here it comes.
Jeez. All right. Enough.
Can you give me some music? Can you give me a little music there, Jay?
Do you have any music? Oh wait, you want some music?
Yeah, give me a little porn music here. Oh, here it comes. Here it goes. Oh.
Your turtle head poking out there.
Little turtle head. Oh man. So
you have made this show worse than it could possibly have ever been.
Yeah, probably. Actually, I think I just put the ratings through the roof. So,
through the roof.
We should talk about the title of the show. That I'm kind of back. Like I'm making videos again.
It's too early to tell.
What do you mean? It's too early to tell, man.
It's too early to tell. It is way too
early to tell. No.
You make videos in voluminous spurts like Peter North.
Is it sad that I immediately got that? Oh.
And then you tend to just kind of disappear for a while.
Do I just once I'm done with my business, I just walk away for a little while?
Yeah.
No, and the funny thing is, usually I have a really hard time shooting videos when I feel sick, and I've been sick the whole last week with but it's not like respiratory shit's what really bugs me. This gastrointestinal stuff's weird, but I can survive. I have enough fat on my bones that even if I don't eat, I'll still.
AKA Jerry's been literally pooping his ass out. Ew.
Yeah, no, I've been virtually a brown water fountain for like the last week.
Ew. Okay, brown water fountain was a little far.
Well, I mean, not like water.
You put your ass in the air and like statue it.
If I did, and I'm just saying, if I did, not that I did, but if I did sit in like a doggy style position, it would resemble some kind of water fountain. I'm just saying. How many viewers did we just lose?
I don't know. It's downward spiraling so fast it's a blur.
So, dude, I got to tell you something funny today. You know, every once in a while, we go through and read comments, and we find the next stupidest person in the world, right?
The next stupidest?
The next stupidest.
Until the next one pops up?
Yeah, they literally dwarf each other, like, every day.
Yeah.
No, I got a guy, he literally messaged me on my latest video, so the removing stickers video that I just dropped this morning.
Okay.
I get a message, and he said, I am unsubscribing from your channel because you are no longer doing 3D printing content. He's like, you used to be cool, but now your channel just sucks. And I just thought to myself, I've released 4 videos in the last week, and 2 of them have been 3D printing. You shut up, Jay. But I'm just saying, the guy literally didn't even check like what videos I've released.
Yeah, yeah. You popped up in his sub box for a moment, and he was like, oh yeah, fuck that guy. That's exactly what happened.
I just thought that was really funny. It's like the one time I finally released like 50% of my videos in the last week have been 3D printing. The guy's like, I'm leaving because you're not doing 3D printing anymore. And then he like insults the shit out of me. So I was like, banhammer.
Be like, you're right. I'm not doing 3D printing anymore. I'm doing 4D printing. 4D print. Is that a thing? Is there really a 4D printer?
There is actually. There's a 4D printer. It resembles the TARDIS. Uh-huh. And yeah, the fourth axis is time. Technically, every time you're 3D printing, you're 4D printing because it takes so damn long to 3D print.
Really, time is considered an axis?
It is.
With 3D.
It is. That's the fourth dimension. Time is the fourth dimension. And then the fifth dimension is I don't know. I don't even think we can conceive it.
So I got a new DX Racer chair, and you guys can see that.
Oh, did you now?
Yeah. I needed another one for the office. So of course, I was like, "Hey guys, can I get a chair?" And they were like, "Sure."
Is there anything more special about it? Or?
No, it's another Iron Series. Like that's an Iron Series over there, like the first Iron Series it came out with, and this is like a revised Iron Series thing. It's pretty neat. It's a different headrest, though.
I'm loving my DX Racer. The thing I like about the DX Racer is it's more expensive than the GT Omega, but I like the material quality is higher.
Depends on the chair, though. Like they've got range of price, just like GT Omega.
Oh, does DX Racer actually have a low end chair that has like the really crappy vinyl on it?
Like the PVC vinyl. I don't know if they got.
Yeah,
I don't know if they have
it
anything
doesn't
that low.
breathe at all. Like the DX Racer chair breathes. It's like the material behind it is actually fairly breathable. You don't just sit here and sweat your ass off. And the GT Omega, as long as you're in a cool room, it doesn't matter. But like if you like when I turn off the AC to shoot videos, it definitely gets a lot hotter with that thicker vinyl that doesn't breathe.
Yeah.
I would say that they're both very similar in how they're built, though. When you take away all the little plastic panels and stuff like that, they're actually very, very similar. What I wish somebody would do though is actually take a real like I don't care if they charge like $1,000 for it. Go get a real racing chair, like a spec racing chair made by Momo or something like that, and then make a real mount to put that on like a very beefed up office base. Not just put it on like a regular office base, but like build a base designed for it with like rubberized wheels and everything. I'd get one of those in a heartbeat.
BST 4R TV says, Jay, show us how your car sounds like. You ready?
Yeah, show us how your car sounds like.
Oh wait, that's a Honda. My bad.
Dude, I had a Honda drive by me on the freeway yesterday that was open headers. Like the guy did not have any exhaust on the car, and he like stomped on it like to drive by me, and I actually got like scared and looked over my shoulder because I thought like an NHRE dragster was blowing by me. And it was just a little Honda Civic.
That happened to Coconut Monkey and I once. We were driving down the freeway, and a straight piped Prelude went by, and we both about broke our neck because we were like freaked out, like what the hell? Like it was scary.
Yeah, it just cracks you up the noise you can get out of something like that without a muffler. You're like, holy crap.
Okay, I need you guys. You're only going to hear this. I'm not going to show the video yet. I will show the video, but I'm going to let you hear this real quick as we're talking about Hondas. I quite honestly am like live and let live when it comes to cars, but unfortunately the Hondas are kind of the butt of many jokes, if you will. And I was searching through videos earlier today, and I came across this video, and it was about XXR wheels because I was trying to show a friend like why you don't want XXRs, right? And I somehow came across
familiar with XXRs. Here, I'm gonna go look them up.
They're like reps of a rep. They're super brittle and they break very easily. They don't even meet like JDM DOT regulations.
Oh, I see. They're just like They're just like knockoffs.
They're like knockoffs of knockoffs.
Knockoffs of knockoffs. Okay.
And I know that because my 350Z came with XXRs. So anyway, I want you, Jerry, you're gonna have to listen to the audio on the replay, okay, in about a minute. Okay. I heard this audio and I started cracking up because this Honda, when you don't see it, literally sounds like a World War II fighter jet dive bombing. Okay, I'm not making this up. I'm gonna play it now. The stream is gonna hear it, and you'll hear it in the replay. Okay, it's going now. So this guy's pointing a camera at the sky. His friend's driving up. It freaking sounds like an airplane. Here it comes again. Oh my gosh! And just for you guys to see what it actually looks like here, yeah. Let's see. It, as you can see, it has no hood. It's one of those Hondas with no hood. So we'll play it one more time now, so you guys can actually see it.
That totally does sound like an airplane.
I know, right?
Did you ever see the video of the guy with a trombone and he's running in front of the camera and it sounds just like a screw?
He's like hanging out of a Miata.
Yeah. No, the one I saw, the dude was just running.
Oh.
Yeah, no. It's like
No, there was another guy who did it with a trombone sitting in a Miata, or maybe it was a trumpet. But anyway, he made it sound literally just like like a straight pipe little 1.5 liter, 1.6 liter. So anyway, when I heard that, I was like, what the heck? And then I actually found a comparison video of what a P51 sounds like when it's diving. It sounds just like that. So I was laughing.
That's pretty funny, actually. If I heard that and I was mowing the lawn, I'd be looking up at the sky like, it's the airplane.
It's the airplane.
Where's the World War II convention going on here?
Where's the air show? Oh, man. Okay, I got that out of my system now.
Well, some people wanted some car talk, so you had to throw that in there.
We throw a little bit in there all the time.
Speaking of car talk, what about that front diffuser that you got on your car?
It's an APR, so it's fiber. It's a fiberglass and carbon fiber weave. I'm torn because the nose of the Nismo kind of dips up slightly, right? So it has a built-in splitter already, right? But the thing is, if you look at the front of the 370Z Nismo nose, because they have to build a car that's also street friendly for the everyday buyer,
Right.
it's not purely like a track car, then they've built the nose in such a manner that it has clearance for driveways and things like that. So the nose, rather than being perfectly flat, which you would kind of want to split the air, like sort of curves up in the front a little bit. And it does promote a lot of air going underneath the front of the car, which is what a splitter is supposed to try and alleviate, is the amount of air going under the car, which create lift.
Right.
So I put the APR splitter on there, which I got really cheap from a guy on Craigslist nearby, and it was like perfect condition practically, except it had holes drilled for a previous 370. And the bolts that stick down, that hold on the front support rods, the bolts stick down about 1/4 inch, and it's the bolts that's dragging when I go up driveways and stuff. Like right now, today I tried to back in my driveway. It wasn't going to happen. Like it just wasn't going to happen. In fact, even going super slow, it made such a scrape sound that my neighbor stuck his head out the window or like out the door to see what that sound was. So, yeah, I'm debating on bringing the front end up about 1/4 inch to try and combat that, or just ditching the splitter altogether.
How tall are the bolts sticking out?
They're sticking out about 1/4 inch.
About 1/4 inch. If you were to basically grind those down halfway, would it alleviate the problem? Or would
They're
you
already
still
ground down. They're already ground down to where it's the nut it's the thickness of the nut that's hanging down.
Oh shit! So there's really nothing you can do then, other than raise the car up.
Yeah,
I think it looks badass, man. I think it'd be better to raise the car up and keep that, honestly.
I didn't do it for looks though. The car, I don't want to mention speeds. Let's just say when you start getting deep into the speeds like you and I were going in your STI,
Awesome.
you start to get a little bit, the nose starts to feel like it has a little bit of lift, even though it has built-in canards in the bumpers and stuff.
The STI got really, like, me and you were both kind of giggling, like, because I was like, oh,
yeah,
man,
and if it wasn't for you and I both in the car, it was going to probably get airborne.
we were the only thing holding that thing down. Yeah.
So anyway, it's not about like it's not about looks or anything. I'm not. What did Coconut Monkey call it? Rice is race-inspired cosmetic enhancement. I'm not.
That's actually,
I don't.
I've never heard that.
Yeah, apparently that's what RICE stands for. Race-inspired cosmetic enhancement. I'm not into that. I'm more into functional. So, I don't know. I'm torn on it. The nice thing is, with the exception of 2 really small holes for the rods that you would never see in the side of that bumper because it's black, it's completely reversible. So I'm just trying it out and seeing.
I think it looks badass. But like you're saying, unless you're driving around doing 150 miles an hour, it's probably not going to really do much.
Who says I'm not?
I don't know. Can that car go 150 miles an hour?
Well, it could go 155. Well, it could go 155 before the computer was like no more, but I don't have that computer anymore, so.
What's do you know what the theoretical top speed is on that thing for like its gear ratio and torque?
There's a video in Japan showing a stock 370 hitting 176, and that was drag limited.
That's pretty damn good. That's up there, because I think my STI, because it's like not aerodynamic at all and it's basically just a giant shopping cart. I think the top speed on it probably would be somewhere around 160, 165, even with stage 2 on it. Yeah. Just because you hit so much air resistance, especially like you've seen the hood scoop.
That's why I love racing Evos and STIs, because they might get a jump at the lower speed. All they got to do is stay in the gas long enough for aero to take over, and then I just slip right past them because my car is so much more aerodynamic. Yeah,
they get up to my car at the straight down at the Ridge Motorsports Park in Shelton will hit about 145 in the straight. I could probably squeeze a little bit more out of it if I wasn't such a pussy going into the corner, because I mean, you're coming off of a straight into an increasing radius turn.
That's what I was just gonna say. Is on the tracks, it's not the speed that scares you; it's the sudden needing of brakes that scares me.
Yeah, no, it is because like when you're on the straightaway and you're accelerating, but then you go. It's different when you come into just an acute turn where it's just a constant radius turn. You're okay because you know exactly where your braking point is, like you know your limit. But when you're coming off of a straight and it starts to go into a slight kind of dog leg, and then it starts increasing more and more and more and more and more, that freaks me the shit out, because if you come in too hot,
Oh yeah.
You're
you're
basically
screwed.
like really slowly losing control of the car.
Mhm.
It's like, and it just kills your nerves. Like even if you get the car back, it's like you almost want to just like get out and take a nap.
All right.
Whereas if you eat shit, you're like, you're okay. You bounce back.
I am going to read some comments here.
Do it.
Lurik donated $20. He says rubs oils sensually on your face for us. Oh, he wants you to rub oil sensually on your face.
We're not doing the essential oils. It'll burn my eyeballs out of the socket.
That's okay. That's a sacrifice I'm willing to
It
make.
would look something like this.
Oh God, you just got me flagged. Danzig 256K.
Hey,
I hope you.
I'm not allowed to do this anymore in live streams, am I? Is that like?
I can just put up that picture. I still have that picture.
Oh, the one of me in the lawn chair,
Yeah.
dude. That was like when I was like 50 pounds lighter.
Yeah, I know. You've gone up a cup.
No, I have. I got on the scale this morning. I lost a bunch of weight because of the gastrointestinal thing, but
You've
I
lost
gained-
a lot of shit.
Well, I got 3 of the pounds back, so now I'm
Oh.
at about 298. But still, I don't like being there. I do got to lose weight. I don't need y'all telling me I need to lose weight though, because all that does is make me want to go like bury my face into deep dish pizza.
Jesus, who is like running down the hallway? I'm hearing boom, 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 boom in my hallway. Let's see. Danzig 256K says Jerry was treating himself like an amusement park. Oh, probably when you were rubbing all them essential oils.
Yep.
Shelby Kohlhoff says any car talk this stream. Oh, I think I should have probably read that before the car talk. Upgrade.
Oh, oops. We got you covered, dude.
Upgrade says look up Aqua Computer Aqueduct from last week. Status of the overclock 1080. I'm very familiar with Aqua Computer. I just don't ever do anything with their stuff because it's so expensive.
Yeah, we need to talk about that whole. I watched a little bit of your video. I didn't get a chance to watch the whole thing because I had to walk away because it was so incredibly boring. But
yeah, I do that too. I walk away from my videos. Sometimes I walk away from my videos when I'm making them.
I kind of want to know more about the thermal throttling stuff. So I figured it'd be a good thing for us to talk about here because you can tell me, and then the people that didn't watch your video can kind of figure it out.
Sorry, I'm acknowledging Coconut Monkey in the back because I saw him on camera get all mad because somehow he's in developer mode and he got an achievement, but then they just negated his achievement because he was in developer mode. So he was like, "What the hell?"
Is there any way for me to mess with him right now? Like, can I message him on Twitter? Or is there anything that I can send to him to disrupt him?
Nothing.
Damn it!
Yeah. Mr. Chance Bosey says, Chance Bosey. Jerry, I would really like to hear your opinions on the CraftBot 3D printer. It would be nice if you were able to review it one day. It is rather unique for the price and features. All right, guys. I guess we're going into 3D talk. Here we go. Get your pillow.
All right, this is gonna be a half hour of the show. If I remember, I want to make sure before I comment that this is actually the printer that the guys that approached me. Oh no, it is. Okay, so this is the one that has the different attachments on it for doing the different things. No,
do you just sit there and research different printers when you're bored?
Kind of.
Oh, I just wondered.
Well, this is a weird printer though. What makes the CraftBot different is it basically has all the guts of a 3D printer, but instead of just having a print head that extrudes plastic, you can basically swap it out with like a laser cutter, an engraving tool, a CNC milling machine. There's all these different tips that you can put on to do that. And I haven't tried any machine yet. There's a couple different companies that make these machines that do this. But my biggest concern with them is I don't see them working very well because all of that additional weight of having all that stuff supported on the tool head and everything's going to slow the machine way down. And 3D printing is already a painfully slow process. But I wouldn't mind reviewing one. I might get back in touch with them because that's something that's unique.
Where are they from?
The CraftBot? I think they're U.S. I think they're actually a U.S. company.
Are you sure?
Well, I'm going to find out here in a second, aren't I?
Nothing's made in the U.S.
Let's see here. I know, right? It's
Except
made
guns.
in the U.S. No, it's made in the U.S., but from Chinese parts. That's still made in the U.S., right? I think it is. Damn it, why are you not going
The parts are manufactured in China and they're assembled in Mexico and sold in the U.S.
Okay, that's weird. I just like open up their site and it goes, it just pops up a dialogue that says,
You see the chat?
What?
You see the chat?
Poor Jerry nailed it. Jay, what are you doing?
You gotta turn up the stream.
Oh, are you literally just play? Oh, you're playing the damn music, aren't you?
It's perfect.
I hate you so much, Jay.
I love having control. I will never give up control. No,
I
I'll
know,
never
and
give up control.
You guys don't. Well, they probably do realize I don't hear any of this stuff, right? So,
That's what makes it so good. Let's just say I've got a plethora of music ready to go for tonight.
Wait a second. No, okay, never mind. The craft bot isn't what I was thinking it was. No, the craft bot's just
I know
another...
what the craft bot is. It's a button you push and it makes your mac and cheese.
No, I'll look into it. It looks like it's just another low-cost 3D printer, a quiet, low-cost 3D printer. The one I'm talking about was, God, I wish I could remember the name of the company that sent to me. I thought it was CraftBot, but it's not. They wanted me to test out their unit that looked just like a 3D printer, but basically you could detach the tool head on it and swap it out with like 4 or 5 different tool heads that they had for it. And I believe it was a Kickstarter at the time, and that's why I didn't agree to review it, because I'm staying away from Kickstarter stuff. I
don't do any sort of crowdsource reviews. They have to be retail ready.
That's exactly where I'm at too, because I've had now 2 or 3 companies send me products because I was like, oh man, it looks really cool from their Kickstarter thing. And they send it to me and the software is like completely fucked. The hardware is not what they said it was. And it ends up just being a horrible experience. And I just throw the shit back in a box and mail it back to them. I'm like, I'm not even going to mess with this. Like, if I do a review, everybody's like, well, why don't you just do a review and tear it apart? It's like, that's not the type of reviews I like to do. I like to review shit that I would actually use. That's kind of like my thing on my channel. It's like, I review stuff that I use. I show you guys stuff that I use. I show you guys things that I have in my life and like in my life. I don't just like review shit to review shit.
I agree. I concur entirely.
There are a lot of other channels out there that just review shit to review shit.
Yep.
Like that Jay guy and all of his GPUs. You know, he doesn't even use like any of them. He basically like builds like, God damn it, are you playing music again? You are, aren't you? Fuck you, Jay. Oh, Jay, you're making me all self-conscious. Now I'm not even going to be able to talk anymore.
That's what's awesome. Getting you off of your game makes for a better stream.
See, what was really bugging me there is I couldn't hear what was going on, but Jay was agreeing with me, and Jay never agreed with me on anything. And as soon as Jay started agreeing, I knew that he was somewhere else fucking with me endlessly. It triggered my head. It was like, that's my fight or flight response. As soon as Jay starts being nice to me or agreeing with me, there is something wrong in the world.
Okay, well, I appreciate you giving that little piece of information. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again. That way I can keep it going longer.
We'll see about that. But so anyways, let's talk about this whole GTX 1080 thermal throttling issue that everybody's talking about now, that apparently NVIDIA did not mention when they were doing their demos.
I don't know. Apparently PC Per had on tap, or Tom Peterson. And I guess Tom confirmed that the card was running at 100% fan speed. Like they manually overclocked it and manually cranked the speed. What I think was wrong was NVIDIA, or I'll specifically say Jen's son turned around and pointed to the screen with everyone in the room and was like, look, and it's only running 67C. But that's really misleading, because no one's card out of the box is going to run that temperature. There was some trickery going on there, because he should have been like, it's only running 67C when the fan is at 100% and it sounds like a jet plane in the background. So I don't know.
So was it able to hold? But that's what's most important to me, is even if it's loud as fuck, was it able to hold 100% load without thermally throttling with the fan running at 100%?
Yes, absolutely.
For indefinitely, it would do that.
As long as the room itself didn't continue to get hotter and hotter, then yes.
Okay, then
What I don't understand is, I did the video about the thermal throttling. 1, showing it happening. 2, mentioning yes, it was happening, and then said that I set my fan to 80% so I could get through my benchmarks without it thermal throttling. Mm-hmm. And then people called me out saying, why are you defending NVIDIA? I said in that video in like 3 different portions that NVIDIA was wrong to point out 67C because it was misleading, yet I'm being accused of defending them. I don't understand the stupidity of people sometimes.
Well,
so
keep in mind that they watched 1 minute of the video. They watched 1 minute of the video before they left that comment, I guarantee it.
But the thing is, in the very first minute of the video, I mentioned that it was wrong.
Okay, they watched 3.5 seconds of the video, and then they commented. I actually had a guy once leave a comment just from the title of the video. Like, he left a comment. He's like, I'm not even going to watch this fucking video.
This is clickbait.
This is clickbait. I haven't gotten any of those in a while, so maybe I need to up my clickbait
Someone
game.
said my title of Does the GTX 1080 thermal throttle, someone said that was clickbait.
It was kind of clickbaity. I clicked it.
How? How was it?
I felt like I was baited into clicking it because it was an interesting topic, and I clicked on it. So I was baited.
Okay, fine. Then you were totally baited.
I felt like I was totally.
You are a master baiter.
I was
master. You know what I'm saying?
Into it, Jay.
You're master baiter.
You are a master at baiting, Jay. You are a master clickbaiter.
Master clickbaiter. I sure am. I own it.
You
Anyway, but no, it's one of those things where I think the reason why people were saying, "Oh, Jay, you're just defending them," which again I wasn't. The point of the video was to show, like, yeah, this was misleading information during this demo, in my opinion. Was the fact that I made the comment that every reference card in the history of reference cards has thermal throttled also. So I said, I don't understand why everyone is acting shocked when, yeah, we expected lower temperatures, but the 8800 Ultra, the 280, the 480, the 580, the 680, the 980, the 1080, they all, with reference coolers, will reach the temperature limit. All of them will. So I don't understand why suddenly everyone's like, oh my god, because I kind of expected it going into it. And all of us reviewers, what people don't understand, what I love is when someone will come to me and say, yeah, but Paul says this, or Luke says that, or PC Per says this, or Steve at Gamers Nexus says that.
Yeah.
We were all together hanging out at this event, talking about it, talking about expectations, and all of us together looked at each other after the event and went, I want to know more about that 67C, because that does not seem possible. And all of us knew to go into this looking at temperature, potential temperature issues. But the thing is, if I talked about everything everyone wants, Jay, talk about why it only has a single 8-pin connector. Jay, talk about the thermal throttling. Jay, talk about this. Jay, talk about that. It'll be like a 45-minute video. And the thing is, I break it up into different videos, and people get mad that I
just
in the
just
main
wait
video,
until I do a video. Wait until I do a video on the 1080, and it'll be an hour and a half long.
You're not
and
going to do a video on the 1080. You don't even know what any of that stuff is called. What's Ansel?
No, I don't need to. That's not the types of videos I do. I do videos for the common man based on my own personal experience with something. I don't read tech specs and stuff
Okay,
like
so
that.
what Jerry's really saying is he's going to make a 15-minute video, but he's going to repeat everything 4 times. That's how
Bingo.
it's 45 minutes.
Wait, was I misleading at first? Because that's how all my 45-minute videos are.
You know, it's funny. There in the past, when you used to have your really long videos, I would start watching, and you would say something for a few minutes, and I would click ahead, and then like you literally say the exact same thing I just clicked ahead from, and then click ahead, and then you're like recapping the exact thing that you said 2 times before, like, and in conclusion, and then you like talk about that thing again. I'm
Yep.
like, Jesus Christ, Jerry.
There was a time.
Beating
there was
it
a
into
time
our
when
heads that 3D printing uses filament. My God.
Yep. There was a time. But then I got some feedback.
And you stopped making videos.
From a skinny Canadian ninja, and I stopped doing it. What are you doing?
Nothing.
Are you pretty much just playing music through the whole stream? Because every time I hit the play button, I hear music.
I am not playing music. I haven't played music since we started talking about 1080.
Oh, maybe it's not live. Here, let me refresh. I think I accidentally paused it. Whoops. Okay, we're good. Now I'm all caught up on the stream. I just check it every once in a while now because I don't trust Jay anymore.
Everyone says no sound. No, we just weren't talking.
Oh, we're getting DDoS now. Apparently, that's what the stream says. We're getting DDoSed.
I like how
DDoS.
I like how anytime there's any sort of, and by the way, I haven't dropped a single frame. I love how anytime there's any sort of interruption in any way, people start like screaming DDoS, DDoS, DDoS.
It's all about the DDoS, man. It's like the Colosseum, the Roman Colosseum of the internets.
All of them Trojans.
But no, I'll eventually do something on the 1080 because I am interested in getting more 1080s, which means I will have to do something on the 1080 because that's how it works, Jay.
You're interested in getting more 1080s? You need one before you can have more.
Well, no. I already have 3. I just haven't installed them yet. They're in boxes over on the shelf with other stuff.
So how are you going to enable those 3 then? What do you have to do?
I don't have to do nothing to enable them. I take them out of the box and I put them in the computer.
Oh, see, guys, you heard it from Jerry's mouth.
That's all you got to do.
Yep.
Because they were.
Let me know how that works out.
Well, no. Apparently, I got to go to some webpage and like fill out some shit. But you know, everybody already knows that.
You got to get a deed to your house signed over and all that stuff.
Why are there so limited? I heard it's pretty limited distribution when it first come out. Are they having problems producing the chips, or do you know anything about any of that?
Where'd you hear that it was going to be limited?
Well, I was talking to Puget, and they said that they're not getting a ton of them in the beginning. Like it's going to be ramped up in how many they can actually get.
Because the only ones available in the beginning are going to be the Founders Editions cards, which doesn't make sense anyway because they're $100 more. So. I don't know.
It kind of makes sense for them to want to sell the more expensive card first, though.
It's not more expensive. It's a reference card. They're just charging $100 more for it. I did a whole video on this.
Wait, what?
It is a reference card. They renamed it to Founders, and they charge $100 more than what the board partner pricing starts at.
Okay, hold on. So there's nothing different between the two cards other than it's a reference design, like different cooler or something on it.
It's
It's
exactly
$100.
the founder's card is the reference card. So if you want a card that has that magnesium cooler or whatever they call it on
Yep.
there, aluminum cooler, it's called the Founders Edition now, and they charge $100 for it, and you can only get it from NVIDIA.
Oh, geez. $100 seems kind
What
of
what I'm interested in finding though is you get the companies that will do the reselling, right, of the NVIDIA card.
Yep.
Right, like it would be branded EVGA, but it's the same reference cooler, right?
Right.
They, I don't understand how they're going to be able to sell those for the board partner price, because those cards are actually provided by NVIDIA, and then all the other companies do is stick their product sticker on the back of it and call it
Right.
EVGA. So I don't know. This is a really weird launch because NVIDIA really kind of screwed everything up, in my opinion, with this whole we're going to sell a Founders Edition and have it be $100 more. So what's different about it? Nothing. So why is it $100 more? Because it's Founders. Well, what do you mean it's Founders? Well, we're just changing the name of reference to Founders. So it's a reference card. Yep. Why is it $100 more? Because it's Founders. So what's different about it? Nothing. I mean, that's kind of how it went.
That doesn't make any sense at all.
You know what? I finally left it at this. NVIDIA is going to do it, right? The only difference this time around is normally, you give it a couple months into launch and you can't get the reference cards anymore because NVIDIA doesn't sell them direct, and all the companies ditch the reference cards for their own designs.
Mm-hmm.
NVIDIA is keeping it in the game this time and becoming a retailer of their own card. So it's going to be available for the life of the 1080. But I think what's going to happen is NVIDIA is going to be sitting on pallets of these that nobody's buying because they're more expensive and they're hotter and they're louder. So I think the amount of sales that they're going to get is going to be so low that they're going to have to rethink this and go, okay, this was really kind of like we failed economics on this one.
Yeah, that is really weird because the only way I could see that going is once all of the OEMs start dropping their own cards, the reference design, they're just going to have to drop the price of it if they want to compete on any kind of level. And then everybody that spent all the extra money to buy it's going to be like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, you're basically paying $100 just to get access to something early.
I love Cat Weasel says, NVIDIA just wants to make a few more bucks. What's more valuable to NVIDIA? Utilizing those chips in their own cards, sitting on pallets that they can't sell because they're more expensive, or selling the chips to the board partners and having them make their own cards? So what's more valuable? A pallet of cards sitting there no one's going to buy, or the chip being sold to the board partners to use? Which makes better business in my mind? Well, in your mind. NVIDIA's in the game as being the OEM manufacturer, selling the designs to the board partners who then make their own boards. That's kind of the business they've always been in, right? So
it almost seems like this strategy could potentially piss off some of the OEMs selling their own versions of the card.
That was the only other side of the argument that I said was the $100 more almost, to me, seems like a good faith of we're not going to undercut our board partners.
That actually does kind of make sense.
But then what sense does it make to try and stay in the retail space when no one's going to buy? Okay, I'm not going to say no one. That's very matter of factual.
Yeah.
When a few people are going to buy this card, when such few people are going to buy this, and you're sitting there again with them on a pallet, what's the point of it? You know what Alienware was doing at DreamHack?
What's that?
Alienware had boxes and boxes of reference 770 cards. Now, yeah, the card is a couple generations old, right? 900
Right.
series and then 700 series. The card is dated in the sense of the amount of VRAM it has and the speed that it runs. But the 770, I'm sure, was a hell of an upgrade to many people watching this stream right now.
Oh, yeah.
So you know what Alienware did? They brought all of their boxes of 770s that they weren't using anymore, basically told everyone, form a line, and as you walked by, they handed you a GPU. That's literally what they did. They gave away hundreds of 770s at DreamHack. Just like, here you go, here you go, here you go, here's your card.
That's pretty awesome, actually.
Yeah. So that's what I feel like is going to end up with the 1080 eventually, with all of these cards that they're not going to sell in their own warehouse. Or what's going to eventually happen is you're going to see a price reduction on them. $549 for the reference card, which then would sort of undercut the board partners. But the reference card's always been cheaper than the board partners anyway. So I
almost wonder if this couldn't be an attempt, kind of like what Microsoft did with the Surface, where they basically didn't tell any of the OEMs ahead of time that, hey, we're going to produce our own card or whatever and come out with it. And they're just doing a limited run just to gauge if people would actually just buy directly from NVIDIA, even if it costed more, right? They're intentionally skewing it in the favor of the OEMs. And if enough people still buy NVIDIA, then that kind of gives them the balls that they need to go full tilt and say, screw the OEMs, we're just going to sell direct from here on out.
Yeah.
And then everybody gets screwed, and they basically cut out the middleman and become a complete monopoly.
I want to respond to a couple of things I'm seeing in the chat. One, people saying the chat's lagging and stuff. Guys, I'm monitoring my upstream. I'm only upstream. I have the stream set to 2500 or 2600K. All 2600K is going up. I'm in the green. 60 FPS is going up, and I have not dropped a single frame. So any stuttering you guys are seeing has to be on YouTube side. It's not Coconut Monkey back there. He's playing campaign. He's not even on multiplayer.
We're getting DDoSed right now, guys.
Oh, that's it. Okay. The other thing too, I want to point out real quick. Coconut Monkey is back there playing on the. Nick, turn to your left. That's your right. No, wait. Yeah, turn to your right. That's it. Whatever. You're in the way. Just scoot out of the way. Get out of the way. That is the EVGA card, as you guys can see right there. He is playing on the GTX 1080 SC ACX 3.0. He is also playing on 4K with all settings maxed out.
No way. Serious?
I'm dead serious.
That's so, like butter smooth.
Oh my God. Wait till you see the review. Yeah. So he is playing on 4K back there, locked at 60 FPS because we do have VSync on adaptive. It actually goes much higher than that, but you'll see it in the review. So yeah, that is 4K with all settings in Doom completely maxed out.
How's input lag? Is it greatly improved?
There's more input lag when you turn off VSync, which is weird because VSync inherently creates lag because it bottlenecks the pipeline and the GPU. With VSync off, there's so much tearing of the screen on that because that's the monoprice monitor. So you know that anything above 60, that monitor is like can't handle it.
Right.
And it's on DisplayPort. So I noticed a bunch of mouse and keyboard lag with VSync off. When VSync on, now look, Jerry, you and I've talked about this. I am an FPS whore, 144 hertz or go home kind of thing, right?
Right.
And I'm like, I can't play at 60. That 4K at 60 is so smooth. I actually really enjoyed playing on it and benchmarking it. Enough to where it made me realize, like, you know what? With enough horsepower, and as long as you can keep those frame rates locked, then hell yeah, completely doable.
I am completely all for 4K gaming, except for the input lag problem. Like right now with two 980 Ti's, when I was playing Battlefront, for instance, at 4K, it ran butter smooth, but there was a massive amount of input lag. I mean, to the point where it was almost unplayable.
I see some more comments going through chat that I want to respond to.
Go for it.
Doom runs OpenGL. It's not DirectX, right? And OpenGL's been been around for a long, long time. Plus, OpenGL is what? That's what Linux uses, right?
Yeah, so, OpenGL's the standard across like all platforms, even Mac.
Right. So you got a game that looks as gorgeous as Doom running on OpenGL. So you see people going, that's not that, that's not that impressive. It's just OpenGL. Would you guys rather have a game that comes out going, we require so much power to run this game, you need to have like the best graphics card that you can't afford? Or would you rather have developers finding a way to get beautiful games like this that run lightweight? What I don't get is the amount of people that are shitting on and poo-pooing games that are not requiring high-end graphics cards. What the actual fuck does that even mean? So,
for me, it I can see both sides of the argument, but they're doing it for the wrong reasons, right?
I'd rather have an optimized title than needing one that has all the hardware.
Let's say though that the game is optimized for the newest graphics hardware, meaning that it's actually even faster on the next generation of hardware. But that's often not the case, right? I think that's the argument people are trying to make. It's like, wow, this was designed for the 1080. Well, no, they just slapped on that they want you to use the 1080 because it's so heavily unoptimized. That's the only damn card that can run it at a playable frame rate. But
that's kind of known as the crisis mentality.
Exactly. Yeah, Crisis is the gold standard for benchmarking. Not because it's a beautiful game, because it's programmed so goddamn horribly that the graphics engine just like. Well, I remember when they launched the first Crisis game, there wasn't like a computer on Earth that could play the thing in ultra settings. Like they developed it with settings that they even had to nerf those settings back just to ship it because the hardware didn't even catch up to what they were programming at that time. It was nuts.
I said this on Tech Talk when I did a Q&A by myself where, Jay, what's the computer you're most proud of building? And some people were shocked that I didn't say Skunkworks because Skunkworks was afforded to me because of what I do in the community, and a lot of it was sponsored. And there's not as much emotional attachment to that because I didn't have to go out and mow lawns and wash cars and do what it takes to build a system like this. So there's not as much like, I earned this, other than being like, yeah, I earned it by working hard and building a channel, but I didn't directly earn that. So it doesn't have as much attachment to me as, say, some of the earlier systems I built where it was literally like working my ass off, trying to make ends meet and have money to build a computer at the end of the day, shopping for, online forum used cards and things to be able to build a system that I really at the end of the day was like, I'm proud that I was able to buy this. So speaking from that perspective of knowing what it's like to go, well, I can only afford a mid-range card from the previous gen, to really appreciate what Bethesda has done here with Doom. Because enough people out there now aren't going to look at a new title. When Grand Theft Auto 5 came out, right? How many people went, oh, yeah, I can't even really play it at decent settings because my hardware is too old. Not many people can afford to go out and upgrade their whole system because they want to play a $60 game and spend $1,000 to prepare for that game. That's kind of stupid, right? So I really appreciate the fact that they've used OpenGL on this and have made it look absolutely fantastic. Case in point, Nick, turn around. Is that game, in your mind, beautiful or not? They can hear you.
Oh, wait, yeah, it is.
Okay, so if I had not told you that's OpenGL, and would you have just assumed it was DirectX?
Probably, yeah.
The only telltale sign I had that right off the bat that it was OpenGL was the fact that SLI wasn't supported right away, and it's still not supported.
Or there wasn't an update before the game actually created for the first time saying DirectX 12.
Yeah, Coconut Monkey's saying that there was no day one download, like patch.
Yep.
So, yeah, but I'm the kind of guy that's like, let the world enjoy PC gaming without feeling like you're inferior to play a new title because you don't have the latest and greatest hardware.
Yeah. Well, OpenGL is a much older standard than DirectX 2, and it's still used in mostly professional applications. Like a lot of CAD software and stuff like that use the OpenGL for all of the hardware acceleration and stuff like that. So I'm not going to say that they were dumb for using it. It's just obviously what they wanted to do was create a cross-platform title.
Did someone say that they were dumb for doing OpenGL?
No, not just implying that OpenGL may be beneath DirectX.
It may be, but you know what though? I'll tell you right now, the amount of beauty in this title.
It's a gorgeous game.
It does not feel like an OpenGL game.
It does not. But just like I was saying, I mean, OpenGL has many of the same capabilities as DirectX. It's just some of those capabilities have to be programmed for and aren't baked into the API, basically.
Now, I believe Doom is supposed to be getting a DirectX API implementation for things like SLI and whatnot. But I don't want to give away too much information because that card is embargoed right now. But it's one of those things where, again, all settings maxed, 4K, butter smooth. I would personally, as a graphics snob myself, I would much rather there be just maybe a slight reduction in graphical quality that you would only notice if you maybe had screenshots side by side with DirectX, which obviously means it doesn't have tessellation or any of that shit going on in there. But I would much rather just have more people out there playing games and feeling happy about their systems playing these games than the crisis mentality out there.
I personally would like it if everybody boycott the hell out of DirectX 12. Everybody goes back to the latest standard of OpenGL, because then all the games can be easily and directly ported to both OS X and Linux. And then right out of the gate, you have a cross-platform title that works everywhere, and you don't have to do this porting shit.
DirectX 12 is going on a year old now, and still no one's using it, and it's still
indie developers. That's it. Like indie developers and people that are using like cheap graphics engines that are publicly available.
Well, even main developers like who's the developer for Tomb Raider or Rise of the Tomb Raider? DirectX 12 is still broken in that. You know,
it's because nobody wants to invest in Windows 10. Windows 10 is not there's not enough adoption there, and that's why Microsoft's scrambling to get adoption numbers.
Yeah,
a lot of
folks like to give me a hard time because I'm not doing enough DX12 testing. But here's the reality with that: the only title out there that people are really using is Ashes of the Singularity, which is apparently very DX12 optimized, very asynchronous dependent, which apparently Pascal is really good at. I don't know. I haven't even tried Ashes of Singularity yet. But I need more than one title to draw a conclusion if you're going to start comparing cards, because people really want to see that DX12 fight between AMD in NVIDIA. Because it's no secret that AMD, at least in last gen, again, I don't know where Pascal is, was beating out NVIDIA across the board in asynchronous compute. So to have one title that proves that only proves that that's true in that one title, which is why I use a gambit of DX11 titles, because you can then see across the board what's happening with different titles of different engines and whatnot. So I want to see more DX12 titles, but like you said, because DX12 apparently is an API only afforded to Windows 10 and with low adoption rate, maybe it'll be another year or two before we see that become a real thing.
Yeah, and the problem is they're heavily pushing it towards the development in the Microsoft Store, like with the Forza, was the Forza 6 release for the PC, for instance, and games like that. They're all using DirectX 12 because then they can do a direct port back and forth between the Xbox One and the PC with very minimal code churn. Right. But like you said, nobody wants Windows 10 right now, and now Microsoft is trying to bolster the numbers and say, hey, we got 30 million PCs up on Windows 10. And it's like every other message I get every day. That's why I made the video. The reason why I made the video on Windows 10 forced updates was because Microsoft is intentionally tricking people. And it's obvious. You can go read articles. I'm not the only one that did a video on it. A lot of people did. It's incredibly obvious from the generation of how they started trying to get people to upgrade and how they're doing it today, that they have been training people to get into the cadence of pressing the X and dismissing this dialogue. And now they flipped it around so that clicking the X means you are saying it's okay for them to force the update. And I get so many emails now that are like, I woke up, it's upgrading. I came back from the bathroom, it's upgrading. No,
because the X used to close it out. Now
exactly. Now you push the X and you're basically saying, oh, I've commit to the schedule of installing this at 3 a.m. in the morning while I'm sleeping. And so a lot of people are going through this upgrade process to Windows 10 and being forced onto it. And then Microsoft counts those numbers and says, wow, adoption has never been higher this month, hoping that everybody else will be like, oh, wow, they must have got Windows 10 figured out because everybody's upgrading, when in reality, everybody's being forced to.
You know what's funny is I've got an ISO that I use for all of my builds that I don't use every day. Like the test bench back there has a legit copy of Windows, which is why I'm on 10. Skunkworks has a legit copy of 8.1 Pro that I won't allow to update to 10. The simulator rig and like 4 of the rigs that I have downstairs that I just use for various testing are not on, I don't want to say legit. They're just copies of Windows that are installed, but the key isn't activated. So I deal with like the every 2 hours it pops up like activate me thing. It's got the little watermark down there. It says activate Windows. What's funny is just for the hell of it, I went, well, let's just go ahead and upgrade these to Windows 10. And of course it's like, oh, you're not on a legit copy, so we're not going to upgrade you to 10. Which is funny. I think if Microsoft really wanted that many people on 10, they should just been like, fuck it, ship it, let them have it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and here's another really funny thing. A lot of people don't realize that Microsoft has always prevented upgrades from occurring on pirated versions of Windows. Like if you try to do a legitimate upgrade, you have to actually have the product key and everything to do the upgrade. Windows 10 will upgrade from a pirated version. They will force update you from a pirated version to a legitimate Windows 10 with a product key. And you might ask yourself, like, why in the hell would they do that when they wouldn't have done that previously without you actually going out and proving that you had a legitimate copy of Windows?
They're forcing legit on everyone, and 2, they're padding the numbers.
Yeah, and they want the numbers. That's just it.
But I think it's funny though on a non-active or non-activated version of Windows, they won't do it on though. That's like the one time they won't. Actually, I take that back. They'll force it down your throat. It still pops up on those machines. Download Windows 10. So I download it. It downloads it. It goes to install it. It's like, oh, you're not activated. Activate. I don't have a key. Sorry, you can't activate. So then it closes out the installation, and then on the next reboot, it's like upgrade to Windows 10.
Yeah, because Microsoft Windows is the most pirated piece of software on the planet.
Yeah,
there's
one
nothing more pirated than the Windows operating system. Like I remember we used to have meetings at work where they would show China was like the biggest. China has the highest per capita rate of piracy in the world. Like one person out of 100 people buy a piece of software.
Let's respond to Obi Shinobi real quick. He says, LOL, I've had 0 problems with Windows 10. Day 1 launch user, not sure why so much hate. You have to listen to the words that we're saying here. This is, not once did Jerry say, compatibility issues. Not once did he say hardware issue. Not once has this machine back here ever since I did the initial update and then a clean install on it have I had a problem. The issue here is with Microsoft, 1, forcing it down your throat, 2, taking away choice, and 3, data mining you without your knowledge.
Okay? You're literally here. Let's put it in an analogy you'll understand. If you went to your
doctor, make it really simple, Jerry. You're making a bold statement saying they'll understand.
Here we go. This is what you walk into your doctor's office. because you want to pay a bill. You're just there to pay a bill, not for an exam or anything. Your doctor runs out, tackles you to the ground and put his neck in the back of your thing, and then rams a syringe up your butt and injects you with some new solution that's supposed to, I don't know, cure some unknown virus that doesn't exist yet. And he gets up and he's like, "You're welcome," and then walks into the back room. Are you going to be happy as long as you don't have any ill effects from it than the initial I don't know how we call it, violation? Are you going to be cool with what just happened just because you were okay, you got up and survived it? Like,
that analogy makes me really want to update now. No. Okay, you know what scares me, Jerry? What? There's someone out there who just heard you say that going, well, if it's going to solve a problem, then I don't see the issue.
I know.
Someone out there legitimately watching this just went, well, that's not a problem as long as the end result is something positive.
The biggest argument,
shove it up my ass as long as I'm going to appreciate it in the end.
There's
a pun intended there.
The best thing that I could say right there, guys, is if you're one of the few people that were forced to do something and it all worked out all well and good, then hey, kudos. But you have to realize you're not alone. For every one install that goes right, there's 10 that go wrong. I mean, I get these constant influx of emails of people that are having compatibility issues with software packages. They're using driver issues on the new model. You have to realize that when Windows 10 first came out, the NVIDIA drivers were broken for a very, very, very long time. You guys can't even remember all the bitching that I had about not even being able to get SLI to work. Yeah. And now it's getting better. They fixed a lot of those issues. The thing has improved.
Spiritual 1995 says that's what Google does with YouTube. You're not paying for YouTube. Well, maybe if you had YouTube Red, but you choose to go to YouTube. We have to use an operating system, and obviously we have choice on that somewhat. But being forced to update to something you don't want so that they can steal your data is one thing. It's the data stealing that we are mad about. It's not the forced update. It's the forced update and then the sketchiness that takes place on them hiding all of the settings to stop sending data, and then literally
and not
just
saying what data they're
it.
collecting. That's the other thing that's really bad here. You have to realize a lot of reputable media outlets, and I'm not talking about me or just another small time YouTuber. I'm talking about big media outlets have approached Microsoft and asked for comment of what
CNET did it too.
Yeah. CNET's probably the biggest and most well-known one.
Yeah.
They said, Microsoft, what data? You don't have to tell us exact, nothing personal, but what class of data are you expecting? Microsoft came back and said that they cannot comment.
Exactly, because they know they know the answer will piss off the
some guy
masses.
fired up Netmon, like Microsoft's own network packet sniffing tool. And I know I promised to do a video on this, guys, but it's a huge investment to do this video. It'd take me a week to do it all said and done. But they said when you opened up the built-in image viewer in Windows 10, every time you opened the image viewer, a packet was being sent to Microsoft to indicate that the viewer was being open, and then another packet that was being sent, but the data was encrypted. They couldn't tell what it is, but just through a process of elimination,
probably
figuring out
it was the
variables
picture.
they're touching. Yeah, it was sending the name of the picture, the name, not the actual contents of the picture, but sending the name of the picture to Microsoft.
I wonder how much midgetporn.jpg is up there.
I mean, there are a lot of midgetporn.jpg being sent up there, but still, that's like if you have images that are named in a way that has personal data in them, or if the metadata in the image contains anything that's personal data, that's all getting sent to Microsoft. And Microsoft says that, oh, don't worry, none of this data is being associated with you personally. Well, here's the problem. Microsoft collects so much data and they associate it with your PC ID that everything that originates from that PC is associated on their side. So if I type in to a password box my password, or let's say the password boxes are excluded. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt here. Let's say you type your password into a text file or something because you're backing it up, like your Remember file, and they send that to Microsoft. That's associated with your computer ID along with your name. If you typed your name in at any point, which I type in my name 1,000 times a day on my computer, now they can go through and look at that and they can see where I typed in my name. They know my password. If I ever type my social security number into something applying for a credit card, they've got that too. All that stuff can be associated together. And then if Microsoft was ever subpoenaed, like in a court case or something like that, they could technically use all that information if they wanted to. And Microsoft would have to hand it over because they have it. And
see,
so
Josh De Silva says, God damn, you are so paranoid. You know what bugs us is people like you who don't see the negative sides to this.
That's the thing is if you're willing to write that off.
If you were paranoid, you'd be like, the government's going to come kick down your door and they're going to get dragged away because of that one time you did it. That's paranoia, not stating facts of what's actually happening with the data. So there's so many people out there that are unintelligent enough to even have this conversation or even comprehend what is happening here in terms of of
We
data
knew that.
violation.
Yeah, we knew that going into this, but
Yeah, I know.
The
But
silent
there's always
majority-
that guy that has to stand up above the crowd and wave his hands and go, "I'm stupider. I'm stupider."
It's so true.
Anyway,
It's-
it's funny because Coconut Monkey and I and the family last weekend we went out to IHOP, and we're sitting there in the waiting room and we're eavesdropping on this conversation. This is a guy standing talking to his friends, older guy too, maybe 60s, maybe 70s, kind of a loud talker, right? So you can't help but overhear. He's sitting there going, and I get up, and he had like a real gruff, almost kind of a southern accent too, by the way. He's like, I get up and I go to the bathroom and I come back and it's installing by itself. And I call my brother and I'm like, why is this Windows 10 installing and how do I stop it? He's like, I clicked the X. I don't know why it's installing. Nick and I are just like laughing because we're like, oh God, see, even everyday people are pissed off at this. Not power users like you and I, where we're a little bit more in the know. This guy's just like, I had my computer on and I went to the bathroom and I came back and I couldn't stop it. It was already downloading and it was doing its thing and I couldn't tell it to stop. And he calls up, he calls someone for help. But what the other thing that Microsoft really keeps kind of hush hush and doesn't tell people is you have what? Is it 90 days you can revert? They give you
Yes.
what, 90 days to
No,
revert?
30 days.
30
It's
days.
only 30. Yeah.
But still, at least they give you time to revert it, but they don't tell you that. If you don't like it, you can go back. What's funny is if you revert, I'm sure it's going to be like upgrade to Windows 10 every time you log in. But you can revert
honestly,
it.
you should come back to the computer. Like if it does that forced upgrade when you're not around, you come back and Windows 10's running there. There should be a notification that pops up that's like, "Welcome to Windows 10. If you don't like it, click here to uninstall."
Yeah,
but no,
not
you have
all of a
to go
sudden
to
everything's
control
different.
panel and like 5 levels deep
Yeah.
to like get the shit off your box.
Yeah.
And then if you accidentally run the disk cleanup tool, and the disk cleanup tool is like, "Holy shit, you got 5 gigabytes of garbage sitting here. You want me to clean it up?" And you hit yes. Well, now your 30 days is gone because it counts as garbage right out of the gate.
Yeah. Ran689 says, I'm stupider. You know what's funny is I did that on purpose. I don't think stupider is actually a real word. I think
don't think it
stupider
is
is like
either.
one of those like I'm more gooder kind of words. Anyway, I'm gonna catch up on some of the comments here that I've been doing a terrible job of. There we go. Open up the document here. All right, Jared Zarnakow. I think he's donated before. I remember stumbling over his name.
Zarnakow.
Zarnakow. Hi, I love you guys. Just wanted to say hi to Coconut Monkey too. He's not even going to say hi back? How rude.
Hi.
Okay, he said hi back.
What a dick.
I know, he's a dick.
You're a dick too.
I am a dick, but I own it. I have my own hashtag all about it.
Dude, I actually put your hashtag on my rack in my garage.
Do you really? I thought you were going to be like, I have it on my rack, and you were going to stick your chest up.
I do right here.
Ashley John William Mosey says, here's
was a
10
long
pounds or $14.67 because waiting up till 1 in the morning is worth it. Thank you, sir. I hope we make more sense when you're tired. I bet you when you watch this tired, they're just like, I
We're
totally
tired,
get
so
these guys.
Doesn't it stand to reason that tired people would understand tired people? I mean, that's like,
Yeah, very true.
yeah.
Jonathan Allison says, just donated 20 but forgot to comment. Oops. Here's another 5. You guys rock. Jay, upgrade the FX 6300 to 8350. Worth it? I don't know. I would wait. I mean, we're probably still a solid 6 months from learning anything about Zen. But at this point, I think I would wait.
I would just throw away your motherboard and get Intel. That's what I do personally.
Jacob Stevens. Oh, Jacob Stevens. Jaykob. That's a cool
Yeah, we
name.
remember
Jacob.
Jacob.
Yep, Jacob. Jay, are you going to do a live stream after with Jerry? Also, what do you guys think of the Tesla Model 3? First of all, no, I'm not doing any live streaming of games tonight. I'm the family. We are driving to Arizona tomorrow for Memorial Day weekend to visit a family friend in the Arizona place. Tesla Model 3. I don't know anything about the Model 3. I know about the Model S. What's the Model 3?
The Model 3 is the new Tesla car. They basically have to wait 2 years if you want to get one.
I thought that was
Yeah.
Model S. Am I just dumb?
You're a little bit dumb.
Okay. I own being a little bit dumb. That's fine. Jacob 13 says, Jay, is this 280 millimeter radiator enough for an Asus Poseidon 980 Ti and a 4690K CPU?
No,
Yeah, a little
No.
bit.
not even.
It is,
need,
but
like-
you're not. It is, but you're going to notice it being a little bit warmer than you kind of want it to be. I would say a 360 minimum. Jaleel says, is it better to get the Founders reference version and slap a water block on it, or wait for the board partner variants? Also, any idea when board partner versions will come out? Yes, board partner versions will come out very soon. Okay, I wouldn't buy the reference card itself to water cool, only because there are going to be board partners with reference PCBs Even though, see, that's what's so confusing about it, Jerry. Right? If a card manufacturer takes the reference plans, because inevitably NVIDIA, when they work with the board partners, say, here is the reference design. Do what you want.
Right. That's the way where they start from. Yeah.
So if a board partner takes the reference design and remakes it, and technically being a founder's card at that point, right? If I guess with a different cooler, and they put their own cooler on it or water block it, and it's cheaper, why would you buy the reference card? Excuse me, founder's card.
Because you're just throwing it away anyways. You're paying a lot of money for a component you're just chucking.
Yeah. So yeah, I would wait. I would just honestly wait until June. June's gonna be a very busy month for GPUs. Just wait. So many people want to make a decision right now. I don't know if that's because there's pre-orders. I don't know if there's pre-orders. Just wait. Aaron Marcus says, "Hey Jay, have you heard that you can't three-way or four-way SLI the 1080 slash sarcasm?" Yes, I've heard. I've heard all those rumors.
Not without permission.
Brian Ingram says, Jay, how much horsepower did you put down on the dyno when you got your custom tune, and when can we expect more car videos on your other channel? I've just been really busy the last several weeks. Haven't been able to get much done. I didn't do a video about the diffuse or the splitter. I put down 330. What, Jerry? I don't have that sheet in front of me. I know I sent it to you. I think it was 330 wheel.
It was up there.
It was 330 wheel, 296 torque. I
remember the torque was under 300.
Yeah, the torque on the high revving V6s is always lower than horsepower. I do remember that.
Still though, with the wheels, that's damn good. Because if that's the wheels, then on a rear wheel drive, your crank's got to be around 350, 360.
No, my crank on the 15% parasitic loss is 380. That's what the dyno showed. It was 380 brake.
That's a 15% drivetrain loss in that thing.
Yeah, it's not all-wheel drive.
I was just thinking.
You lose.
It's closer to 30. You lose a lot in that all-wheel drive system.
No, it's pretty good. It was 380 crank, 330 wheel.
So you technically have the same crank horsepower as I do. Because I don't have my dyno sheet, but I thought you
were guessing that you were more like 350.
Oh, sorry, 350 horsepower, 380 torque. Sorry, I got the numbers screwed up. I'm 380 torque. So
I'd rather have more. I'd rather lose a little horsepower and get a little more torque.
Torque is good.
Aaron Marcus says, but can a 1080 run Crisis?
No.
I already did that in my video.
No, it can't.
That was another thing. People were getting really stupid in my video where I showed Crisis with the throttling video, and they're like, what? It can't even run Crisis at 60 FPS? What they don't understand is I was in 1440p, again, with every setting maxed. I was trying to make the thing throttle. I even had, in 1440p, I had 8x, was it 4 or 8x MSAA? I mean, literally stupid amounts of power.
Yeah, you guys have to realize that when you're developing for a graphics engine, you can actually